The science of epigenetics has proven beyond any doubt that we inherit ancestral trauma if it wasn't resolved by our ancestors. This means that in 2023, why are so many people so messed up, so confused about so many things? Because we have been accumulating unresolved ancestral trauma for a very long time. And the result of that is that we live in an extremely dysfunctional family, in an extremely dysfunctional society. And on top of all of our ancestral trauma, we then have childhood trauma to deal with, which compounds. That's the bad news. The good news is that you don't need to know what happened. You don't need to remember something. You don't need to revisit past lives or talk to your dead ancestors to find out what happened to be able to resolve the trauma. There is a simple, fast, and highly effective way to clear all of your compacted and condensed and crystallized and accumulated trauma. And I want to share that method with you. I've created an app, and in that app, there is a 40-day training course. At the end of that training course, I give you 3 audio tools that you can listen to anytime you get triggered. And this is the key. What I'm sharing with you now is an absolute game changer in the fields of healing, personal development, spiritual growth, which really all comes under the umbrella of self-mastery. The game changer is this. Every time you get triggered, whether it's a subtle trigger that you barely notice and maybe don't notice at all, or something very strong, where you go into some kind of anxiety, or you feel depressed, or you have an extreme reaction like jealousy or anger or rage or grief. Anytime you become emotionally reactive, aka triggered, therein lies the key to healing your unresolved trauma. Because a trigger is unresolved trauma raising its head and giving you an indication, a sign, a signpost that that's where your next step lies on your path of healing, personal development, and spiritual growth. In this app, I train you and give you the tools to diffuse your triggers one by one as they come up yourself. You do this work yourself. So you don't need a therapist. You don't need a healer. You don't need to go on retreats. You don't need to go on workshops. You can do this yourself as your stuff comes up day in, day out for as long as it takes. This is the proven path to self-mastery or impeccability. Why proven? Because I have worked with thousands of clients using these tools. And before that, I used them on myself. I used to suffer from depression, addiction, anxiety, crippling social anxiety, because when I was a child, I experienced a great deal of trauma. And as a young adult, I was constantly triggered to the point where I escaped into addiction. And I was broken, and I nearly died twice. And finally, with the help of 2 great teachers, I managed to turn things around. I've now crystallized decades worth of struggle into a 40-day training that I want to share with you. So all you have to do is fill in this short application form underneath this video, where we find out if you are suitable for the course and if the course is the right thing for you. If it's not, no worries. I'll talk to you and see if I can help you find out what is your best next step. But if this course is good for you, then you'll love it. So I'm going to share with you now a few testimonials from the first group of people to have gone through this course just recently, and watch them. And if you want to apply to be part of the second group of people to do this course, then fill in the application form, and I hope to speak to you soon.
Some magic is going on. For example, just soon as the course ended, my relatives started to spoke about their traumas in the Second World War. Wow! And after the course, magic continues, I would say. So I recommend it.
Now, after finishing the course, I definitely can say that I have tools and a system in place which I use like nearly every day now to heal step by step my trauma, and I'm super thankful for that. If you're thinking about if you should do the Trigger Happy course or if you should not do it, I can tell you, you will definitely not regret it. You will enjoy it a lot. Don't get confused by the name. In the beginning, I had also no idea what is Trigger Happy. I didn't really know if I want to be trigger happy, but I can tell you, it is the most single best thing you can do.
Well, I'm okay to feel any emotion I need to feel and feel it fully, and most importantly, go to its very origin, at least try to go there and recognize what is it about actually. What can I say? Just do it so that it's more of us doing this important work.
I was in a place where I had a lot of social anxiety, and what happened during the course is within the first week, I had been able to drop a wall that opened up a whole new level of social openness that I did not have before, especially within a group setting. It's been holding for like over a month now. It's worth every insight that you get out of it because it's a whole new way of thinking. And I've been working with this for a really long time. It's valuable even beyond the time of the course.
I released deep holding patterns within my body through some of the exercises that Ben had. I became more embodied. I moved from my head down into my heart and into my body. The embodiment that I gained was huge on this course. If you're on this path of becoming more conscious of yourself, of self-mastery, of what we call spirituality, I really recommend this course. It is highly transformational, and Ben Ralston's work is genius.